Over the past few months, a number of catastrophic and well-publicized construction accidents have highlighted concerns about whether government health and safety agencies are doing enough to ensure safe working conditions at construction sites. In New York, 2 massive construction crane collapses have killed 9 people, including 1 bystander. In Las Vegas, over the last 19 months, 12 construction workers have been killed in construction projects on the Strip. According to the Las Vegas Sun, more workers have died in the city over the past 19 months than died during the entire 1990s construction boom. An investigative series in the Las Vegas Sun detailed circumstances behind the deaths on the Strip, including an inadequate response from the Nevada Occupational Safety and Health Administration. As our witnesses will describe today, construction is one of the most dangerous industries for workers. On average, 4 construction workers die on the job every day. Unfortunately, most of these workers die one at a time, and their deaths do not garner the same level of attention that the media gave to the New York crane collapses. There's no question that construction is an inherently dangerous job, and there's no one who would argue with that. The question is whether more can be done to prevent accidents and to make the industry safer. We intend to begin to answer that question today and explore ways to make the industry safer. We will examine whether or not the U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration is doing everything it can to improve safety at construction sites. This committee has repeatedly raised serious concerns about OSHA's inability or unwillingness to issue needed health and safety standards for a number of different industries, and we have the same concern now about the construction industry. We will also examine today whether OSHA has sufficient resources to do its job. In the boroughs of Manhattan and Queens, for example, federal OSHA has only 20 inspectors to cover thousands of construction sites, and some of the inspectors are new trainees. We have nothing but praise for the dedication and work of those few valiant inspectors perform every day, but they are faced with an impossible task. The root cause of that problem lies here in Washington. We will also examine the role that the cities can play in making construction sites safer. Because of the lack of federal OSHA resources in the city, New York City decided to step in to address the hazards of the city's construction boom as presented. The city reasoned that its actions not only protect workers but also protect members of the public who may be walking, driving, or living underneath a tower crane. By our count, and one of our witnesses confirmed this today, the city has more than 20 times more inspectors on the ground than OSHA has. While we commend New York City for its activity in this area, it is unclear whether other smaller cities have the same ability to put resources into construction safety that New York has. We also intend to examine today whether the federal laws as now written may actually discourage some states and cities from maintaining their own programs to enforce workplace safety rules unless they are overriding public safety concerns. The state of Florida has tried to issue stronger construction safety regulations on its own, but those efforts were overturned by the courts because of the federal OSHA regulations preempt any state enforcement in states that do not have their own occupational safety agencies. Let me be clear. The U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration is an agency responsible for workplace safety, but workers must best be served by vigorous OSHA enforcement, coupled with renewed efforts by states and cities to make construction sites safer. Finally, we will examine the enforcement tools that OSHA has to ensure construction site safety. OSHA has the ability to assess penalties against construction companies who violate the law, but those penalties appear to be low and really low enough to be considered just the cost of doing business, and they usually assess long after the inspections occur. Moreover, OSHA does not have the authority to shut down a job site unless the agency can convince the judge that the site presents an imminent danger. The city has the authority to wield a much bigger stick. The New York Building Department has the ability to shut down dangerous job sites at a moment's notice, potentially costing the contractor hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. We will discuss today whether OSHA ought to have the enhanced authority to shut down hazardous job sites without first jumping through excessively time-consuming legal hoops when workers' lives are on the line. These are not simple issues, but they are issues of life and death, and they demand the committee's attention. Today we'll hear from the head of OSHA, the president of the Building and Construction Trades Department, the AFL-CIO, the acting director of the New York Department of Buildings, and we'll also hear from a former iron worker and a contractor from Las Vegas who will speak to the hazards workers face during the building boom. He will also address the personal loss that workers and families face when a loved one is killed on the job.